I have a question. Do you know how to build a car? Do you know how to go in the woods and cut down a tree and build a house? Do you know who owns sheep, cows? Do you know who grows vegetables? Do you have the resources to go drill for oil? Which I don't know why you do that. Why you need oil in the first place? Isn't that to lubricate the earth? If it's not about the world against those that they call lazy, or a byword, or proverb, if it's not about the world against those people, what is it about? I'm confused. Is the American dream include you? Did it include you? Because last time I checked, looking into history, you was less than a human. You was less than human. I'm not mad at the small person that lives in the suburbs, that knows absolutely nothing about history. They get up at 9 and do their job to 5, come home, cook, clean, whatever. Not mad at him. I'm mad at you because you see it clear as day as the sun beams on your face, but you don't care. But you don't care. See, most people think it's about one group of people. It's not. Because where does rice come from? The majority of rice. See, people are going to come, oh, we grow rice in America. But we're the majority of it. What is your toys, your clothes, anything that's in your house? Most of it's made where? China, Tibet, Taiwan. America's in debt to these places. But they say America's the best place on earth. And you fall for it. I'm confused. They say we're not being held down, but you can't build a car from scratch. You can't grow vegetables. You don't know the first thing about that. All we know is to try. All we know is to try. We don't even try that. They say get an education. To do what? I'm going to get an education to do what? Be a lawyer, to go in a courtroom and lie. Either side. You could be a defense attorney for somebody that killed somebody. You're defending a killer from not going to jail. Or you could be the state attorney trying to convict somebody that didn't do it. Or if he did do it, you're trying to build up a case around lies. How are we not being held down? Oh, because Oprah and Tyler Perry, entertainers, remind you. They got money. They have millions. Denzel Washington, he has millions. Rappers. All these are entertainers, mind you. Oh, forgot Barack Obama. What has he done? Took you out the hood, build up, Ehud created jobs, like he's the one that created them? Or did he just give money to people that created the American dream to make more jobs? Why are we paying the same amount of money as a rich person? The Bible says 20%. Everybody, across the board, rich, poor. You might say 10%, but we just go with the 10% for right now, because a lot of people don't know about the 20%. What are we supposed to do? Right? Why is there wars? Because terrorists. There's terrorists. But what did the Indians do? Why are they building a border so that the Mexicans can't come into America when they was here before America was here? Why does Cuba hate America? Why do Muslims call Americans demons or devils? Why does South America call George Bush a devil? But you say we're not being held down. You joined the army to fight for the American dream, which wasn't even for you. Yeah, I'm fighting for the American dream so that my kids can eat and their kids' kids can eat, so that we can live in harmony with people that they don't even like us. George Washington had slaves. No matter how many times you hear that, you won't even care. You won't even care. That's what the funny part is. Then people say you should go to college, spend $60,000 a year, join a fraternity that has Greek letters. I don't see what we own. What in the world would make a person from the hood want to do these things? Go to a college that has nothing to do with him, to get an education to be a doctor or a teacher or a lawyer. There's only so many jobs. You're a lawyer to defend against who? If everybody's a lawyer. You're a doctor to help who? If everybody's a doctor. What other jobs? A stockholder or grocery bagger. Who's gonna do those jobs? Kids, until they get to a certain age and then they become a lawyer. What other jobs is there? To build houses. Everybody needs to build in the city. Why don't we see that there's classes? There's a top class and there's a bottom class. It's hard for you to comprehend these things. You say we're African American. How are we African American? Because we came from Africa? Every book from Babylon to Timbuktu, the Bible, says that we didn't come from Africa. You're doing hearsay. People say. You go to school to be taught these things. Colleges are the most outspoken people that say God wasn't even real. Jesus Christ wasn't even real. But there's known facts. Facts, books. Tangible books that we could read that say Christ was real. The only argument was back then was what? Was his miracles by God or by the devil? That was the biggest argument. The argument wasn't if he was real or not, because he was real. Bible is not about history when you have Chronicles of Kings, Samuel, talking about histories of kings, what Samuel did throughout kings' lives. It tells about the future of history, but it's not about history. Why don't y'all see the separation that America put between the Bible and history? Is to confuse you. Why don't you see that? Maybe you're not meant to see it. Now, you say Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. These are great people, but who's the next Martin Luther King? Since he died. Who's the next Malcolm X? Al Sharpton? Barack Obama? Or is it Jay-Z and Lil Wayne? Or is it Tupac and Biggie? Really? Who was it? Who had more influence on the world than Christ? And he's a black man, according to the Bible. The hair of wool means that his hair looked like it was straight. It was just straight down. Didn't Kanye West have a sheep in his video? Runaway? What kind of hair was that? The problem is we go to outside sources for our problems instead of coming together and talking about it. Why was the Crips and Bloods made? Why were the Panthers made? To come together. The Black Panthers just came together to shoot at cops or to protect our people from the cops at the time. The Crips and Bloods got together to kill the Bloods. The Crips got together to kill the Bloods. The Bloods got together to kill the Crips. That's what was going on. Who's demonizing us? Is it that we're demonizing ourselves on TV? Is it us that talk bad about ourselves? Who's putting these thoughts in our head? Yeah, it's funny. You say the Crips are bad. Nowadays they are. I'm not gonna lie. Nowadays they are, because some of them don't even know what's going on. They shot out on drugs, doing pills, sniffing coke, doing ecstasy, all types of crazy stuff. But what about in the beginning? And isn't it in the Willie Lynch letters to separate the young from the old and the light skin from the dark skin? Texture of hair, separate them. But it's because we don't want to be educated. What are the resources that we have as a people to help us educate one another? Books, right? Books. But who's teaching T-Bone or Jizzle in the street as slinging the rocks? His dad that's in jail, or his dad that's dead from the same thing that he's doing now on the streets? Who's teaching him? It's funny. If your leg was hurting, right? If your leg was hurting, would you go to somebody else and ask them, is your leg hurting? Like this. You go up to Tim, like, Tim, is my leg hurting? Tim will look at you crazy. So why do we go to other people and ask what's the problem with us?